So we have our lists and they're working fine. In this video, we're going to examine lists a little bit deeper. So remember, we have our list with items: oranges, avocados, cookies, milk, eggs, bananas, and the prices: $3.99, $4.09, etc. Well, what if I wanted to just look at the prices of avocados? If I look at my list up here, right, avocados is the second element on the list, and therefore is the second price, is 4.09. So if I want to only use this price, the price of avocados, how would I do that, right? So far we look at, sum of prices, length of items, and there's other functions with lists that you can use, but you can perform other actions on lists. But how do I get individual elements? Well, it turns out that the elements on this list are numbered, right? This is the first one, the second one, third one, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and it's the same with any list. Now, the elements of a list have what's called an index. So this position, or the item in this position, or the item at this position, right? So an index could be first, second, third, fourth, something that indicates which element of the list I'm talking about. Now, the indices of a list start from 0. So oranges is the element at position 0. Avocados is the element at position 1. Cookies is the element at position 2. Milk is at position 3. Eggs is at position 4. And bananas is at position 5. Okay? Now, it is interesting because this list has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. However, the last element is not at position 6, it's at position 5 because the positions start from 0. Okay, so a list with 10 elements has positions 0 through 9. Okay, that's going to become more and more important as we work with lists. So if I want to get the name avocados and the price 409, I need to select the element of items that is at position 1. Remember, 0, 1, at position 1. And from prices, the element that is at the same position, 1. How do I select this? Well, the way you select it is you put the name of the list, so in this case, items, okay? And in square braces, you put the position, 1. This gets translated to avocados. Okay? So if I print this, I would be printing the word avocados. So I'm going to run this. Avocados, right? Now if I print the item and the corresponding price, so prices, index 1, I get avocados 409. I can do other things, right? So for example, instead of just printing them, I could, for example, modify them. So, avocados. I didn't want avocados, just these are avocados. These are a special kind of avocado. So I'm going to say items 1, which I know are avocados. It's going to be equal to avocados Haas, which is a kind of avocado. And then I will print this. Then I will do the same print. Print items 1. I'm just going to print the name. And then I see that I put avocados Haas where it used to say avocados. And then I printed that, and of course it printed avocados Haas. Remember variables, right? So items, and then with the number 1, so the first of these items, this is just another items 1 is just a tag for this variable here, right? You can think of it this way, although it's not precisely correct, but you can think of it this way. Items is the list. And then the computer creates individual variables called items square braces 0 for this one, item square braces 0 for this one, different tags so that you can reference individual elements of the list. So you could change that. You could still print the list, print items, and that should give you the whole list, but now with avocados has, right? So that's how you would reference individual elements of the list. Sometimes you want to reference more than one element. So for example, I know that the first two here are fruits, right? Well, and the last one. So maybe I want to select, for example, the ones that aren't fruits, these ones, okay? So in these ones, what you want to select, the two numbers that we want to keep track of is what is the index that you want to start selecting from, and how many elements do you want to select from there? I'm sorry, and how many elements do you want to select from there? So in this case, I have cookies, and that is at index 0, 0, 1, 2. Cookies is at index 2. And I want to select then from cookies, I want to select cookies, milk, and eggs. So 3 more. So I'm going to select from index 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5. I'm going to select all the way from index 2 to index 5, but not index 5. So all the way from cookies, milk, eggs, but then I'm going to put the index of bananas. This is where to stop, and it's exclusive. Okay, so if I say select from this index to this index, what's really going to happen is that I'm going to select all the way up to, but not including the last index. So the way I do this is I say items, or I can say a variable non-fruit equals items, and I put the first index that I want to start selecting from, which is 2, that's cookies. And then I know that I want to select 1, 2, 3 elements. So I'll put 5, because that will select index 2, 3, and 4, but not 5. And then I can print this. Whoops, I'm sorry. It's not 2,5, it's 2:5. And then I can print non-fruit. And let's see what happens. Cookies, milks, and eggs. Cookies, milk, and eggs. Right? So by doing this, these are ranges. By doing ranges, I can select parts of a list. This becomes really important if you want to select some portion of a list to test, and then another portion of the list to, perform an operation. So you can select individual items referring to them by the index, or you can select a group of items given a range. Now, there are 3 special cases with the ranges. The first case is you can select, say, for example, I want to select from cookies all the way to the end. I don't care how many elements are there, cookies all the way to the end. One shorthand to do this, and I'm going to put it's to say, in this case, items, and cookies is index 2, colon, and then we can put the end, which would be 6, or we can just leave it blank. That means from index 2 all the way. And if I print this, you will notice that I print cookies, milk, eggs, bananas, all the way from cookies to the end. Now let's say I want to select everything up to cookies. I will do this. It's kind of like the opposite. So I would do colon 2. That means select everything up to, but not including index 2. All right, so this print index 0 and 1, right? And then lastly, we can select from the back towards the front. So say, for example, I want to select bananas, okay? So the way that I would do this is items, and then bananas is the last one. So I will do -1. Negative numbers means going from the back, and they don't go from the back starting at 0. So that complicates things a little bit. they just go from the back starting at -1. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So if we run this, oh, I'm sorry, I need to print this. So if I print and run this, I get the last item. And I can do the colons here starting from the back as well. So I hope this gives you a little bit more insight on lists. In the next video, we're going to see, we're going to start doing things with lists. We're going to start, navigating different lists and selecting specific elements based on criteria and so on and so forth.